The boy who refused to break. In a small village in West Africa, where the sun rose gently over mud houses and dusty roads, a boy named Kofi was born. Kofi did not come into a world of comfort. He came into a world of struggle. His father was a farmer, and his mother sold vegetables in the local market. They were poor, but they loved Kofi deeply. Every night, his mother would hold him close and say, "My son, life is hard, but your future can be bright." Kofi believed her. But life had other plans. A childhood taken too soon. When Kofi was just 7 years old, sickness came into their home like a thief in the night. First, his mother fell ill. There was no money for proper treatment. She grew weaker each day, until one morning, she did not wake up. Kofi did not understand death. He only knew that the warmth in his life had suddenly gone cold. Before he could even heal from that pain, his father also became sick. Within months, Kofi lost him too. Now, the boy who once had love, had nothing. The stepmother. After his parents passed away, Kofi was taken in by his stepmother, Oma. At first, Kofi hoped she would care for him. But Oma was not kind. She saw Kofi as a burden. She would wake him before sunrise and give him heavy chores. Fetch water from a far river. Work in the farm all day. Clean the house without rest. If Kofi made even a small mistake, she would beat him. There were nights he went to bed hungry. There were days he cried silently, wishing his parents were still alive. But in all that pain, something inside Kofi refused to die. The little light of hope. One afternoon, while carrying firewood, Kofi passed by a small school. He stopped. Inside, children were reading and laughing. For a moment, he forgot his suffering. He stood outside the window, listening to the teacher. That day, something changed in his heart. "I want to learn," he whispered to himself. From that day on, every chance he got, Kofi would stand outside that classroom. He could not afford school. He had no books. But he listened. And slowly, he began to understand. The secret struggle. At night, after everyone had slept, Kofi would use a small piece of charcoal to write on the ground. He practiced letters. He practiced words. Rain would wash them away by morning, but he would write them again. His hands were tired from labor. His body was weak from hunger. But his mind was growing strong. A kind stranger. One day, the school teacher, Mr. Ode, noticed Kofi standing outside again. Instead of chasing him away, he called him closer. "Why do you stand here every day?" he asked. Kofi lowered his head and said softly, "I want to learn, but I have no money." The teacher looked at the boy carefully. He saw something special. Not just pain, but determination. From that day, Mr. Ode allowed Kofi to sit at the back of the class. For free. The beginning of change. Life was still hard at home. Oma still treated him badly. But now, Kofi had something he never had before. Hope. He studied with all his heart. He listened carefully. He asked questions. He never gave up. Even when he was tired, he kept going. Years passed. The little boy who once stood outside the window became one of the best students in the class. One day, a government scholarship exam was announced. Only the best students could take it. Mr. Ade encouraged Kofi. "This is your chance," he said. Kofi was afraid. But he remembered his mother's words. "Your future can be bright." He studied harder than ever before. Days turned into nights. Struggle turned into strength. The day the results came, the entire village gathered. Names were called one by one. Then suddenly, Kofi Mensah. He had passed. Not only passed, he was among the top students. For the first time in years, Kofi cried again. But this time, They were not tears of pain. They were tears of victory. Kofi received a scholarship to continue his education in the city. He left the village. He left the suffering. But he never forgot where he came from. Years later, Kofi became a successful man. Not just successful, but kind. He returned to his village and built a school. The same place where he once stood outside as a poor boy now became a place of opportunity for others. Kofi's story teaches us something powerful. Your beginning does not decide your ending. Pain can become strength. Struggles can build greatness.